Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex, and Russell Westbrook is officially a Los Angeles Clipper. Westbrook was a part of a three-team trade with the Timberwolves, Lakers, and Jazz, which ultimately saw him looking for a buyout from the Utah Jazz. Some teams that were rumored to be frontrunners for Westbrook were the Heat, Wizards, and Bulls, but the one team that just made the most sense was the Los Angeles Clippers. I wanted to discuss Westbrook and how he would fit alongside this team, if I think the Clippers are a formidable threat in the West now, and why I think this is Westbrook's last shot to prove people wrong. Before we start though, if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure you like and sub. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so it would mean a lot. Anyways, let's get started. To start off, I'm really happy that Westbrook decided to join the Clippers because while he would bring some very much needed playmaking to teams like the Heat and the Bulls, I just don't think the supporting cast that those teams provide would be able to hide the flaws in Westbrook's game, like his shooting and even his defense at this point of his career. The Clippers definitely have the better supporting cast in order to make sure that Westbrook doesn't look so bad. And again, if you thought Westbrook was bad with the Lakers, he was gonna be bad with the Heat and the Bulls. Having Kawhi and Paul George is great for Westbrook because those guys are the surefire 1 and 2 on the team, and everyone else on the team is just high quality role players. There is so much shooting on this roster with guys like Norman Powell, Marcus Morris, Eric Gordon, and Bones Hyland, who they just traded for as well, on top of the versatile wings and guards who can shoot like Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, and Terrence Mann. Surrounding Westbrook with shooters and defenders certainly hides his flaws as a player at this point of his career, so if Westbrook is just able to take advantage of people leaving him open by driving and kicking to shooters, which I think is something the Clippers have needed since Kawhi and Paul George have joined the team, I really like his fit, and it may just be the best team he's had simply just based off fit. Now, I don't think it will be perfect. With bigs like Zubac and Plumlee, who they also just traded for, the paint will definitely be packed and it will make things harder for Westbrook to succeed, but the Clippers will be able to go to their small ball lineup like they have been in the past couple years, whether that's Nicholas Batum at the 5 or Marcus Morris at the 5, so this will certainly help. But when playoffs come, if the Clippers play the Nuggets, the Lakers if they can turn around their season, and even the Kings and Grizzlies to a certain extent, I think it will be harder to pull off a small ball lineup against those teams, since those teams have dominant bigs who will be able to take advantage of it. I also think it would be interesting how Ty Lue is going to play Westbrook, especially since the Clippers are kind of guard heavy now. With Bones Hyland, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, and Eric Gordon on the team, these guys are good enough to all get decent amount of playing time, but now that Westbrook has joined, it may push someone like Gordon or Bones down the lineup, which would be weird since they just traded for them. Overall, I like the moves that the Clippers made throughout the deadline, and I think they're definitely a better roster, and then when you add Westbrook to the mix, I definitely think that does help them and put them in a better spot. And with Kawhi Leonard looking better, especially in his last 29 games, and Paul George being able to keep them afloat in the standings in the West, as long as the Clippers can continue to stay healthy and kind of load manage their way to the end of the season, I definitely think they will be a formidable threat in the West. Would they be my favorites? Probably not. I would still have the Suns and the Nuggets and possibly the Lakers depending on what they do, but I would definitely feel more confident in those teams than the Clippers. But in my opinion, even if Westbrook doesn't have the biggest role on the team, whether that's him being the 6th man or even lower down the roster, if he cannot perform or at least play well with a reduced role and a roster almost perfectly constructed around him, I find it hard to believe that any team is going to give him a shot next season. Let's remember that Westbrook is going to be a free agent this summer, so he should be doing his best on the Clippers to guarantee him another contract with any team. With his circumstances and with him being 34 years old, if he doesn't perform well, no other team is as well equipped as the Clippers currently are, and no one will purposely try to build a roster that will fit around him because of his age. So unless a team is just desperate for a point guard because of injuries or just a lack of guard depth, this is why I don't think Westbrook will get another shot. At least one that will see him play big minutes or even a medium part on a team. The best case scenario for Westbrook, I feel, is that he plays well as a 6th man and the Clippers re-sign him to a new deal for a whole lot less money than he's getting paid now, and he just plays the rest of his career there and mentors the younger guys like Bones and Terrence Mann, while still being able to contribute on the court as well from time to time. If that doesn't work and the Clippers decide to move on, realistically, there's only 3 teams that would try to sign him, which are the Bulls, Heat, and Wizards, the same exact teams who are trying to get him now, and I think they would just be interested just because they are desperate enough to try to take a step up, which I don't think would happen even if Westbrook is on the team, and it would honestly make Westbrook look even worse because again, they are just not well equipped to take away Westbrook's flaws. While the Wizards do have the best fitting team for Westbrook out of those 3 teams, I just don't think they'll be good enough, so I don't even know if Westbrook will want to play for them. I feel really bad for Westbrook because if this doesn't go well, I feel like people are going to hold this against him when we talk about his legacy, and I just don't think that's fair. He is nowhere close to his prime anymore, and if you ask me, his career is set in stone. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the best point guards to ever play our game, period. And I don't think you can honestly argue with me on that. So if you're holding what he does after his prime against him, again, when we're talking about all-time rankings, I just think that's stupid, and I don't think that's right. But those are my thoughts on Westbrook joining the Clippers. Let me know down below what y'all think. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and sub. Check out my socials down below in the description. You can check out this video somewhere on the screen where I go over some underrated players in the NBA season so far. Anyways, see y'all on the next one. Peace out.